Well, I initially didn't think I had a book in me, and it had to be persuaded out of me, but after a while I think I realised that it was a story that was worth telling, and that I think, you know, the role of a domestique in cycling is one that's kind of understood on a slightly superficial level, at least in the English-speaking world. And I think that it was something that was, you know, really worth explaining. I think that there's definitely a really deep understanding of how cycling works in Central Europe. You meet people who have never raced a bike competitively, but even those people understand the intricacies of how the sport works, who wins, who doesn't win, and, you know, the basic functioning of it. I think on the flip side of that, though, is that the fans that there are in the English-speaking world are incredibly passionate. Well, one of the things that I felt most strongly about when doing the book was that I didn't want it to be an autobiography. Basically because I don't feel that, you know, my life has been that interesting that someone would want to just sit and read a narrative of my life from start to finish. Having said that, I think that there were things that I experienced that were useful to explain this life of a domestique. So it's not a chronological story, but we've taken episodes in my life and things that I went through to try and sort of clarify this job. If I think back to how I was at the end of my career, I never imagined feeling the kind of passion that I feel for the sport now, and I think that's really down to the organisation that I work in that has allowed me to kind of grow in this way and express myself in a way that I didn't think I could. You know, the experience with Tom, I think, was probably not the typical subject ghostwriter experience, because Tom and I have always been very close, and he experienced a lot of the things that were actually subject matter in the book. He knows what it's like to be a rider on a top level, and I think he knows what it's like to be not a very good rider as well. So he was already halfway down the road, and it made the whole process a lot easier. Having said that, you know, it was quite tough at times to go through things that I didn't really want to think about and maybe put to one side for a long time. So we talked a lot, and we talked on Skype when we met, and drank a bit while we were doing it, and it was not necessarily easy. I'd compare it quite a lot to a bike race. I hated it while I was doing it and wished I was somewhere else, but then when it was done I was quite pleased with it. But if you read the book, you learn enough about me to know that I've got a good skill for finding the negative in anything, so quite often I've wondered that maybe the people who hated it just didn't say anything about it, but so far the reaction's been very positive. Just buy the book.
Any, like, a particular part of it?
Just do a washed up ex-professional a favour and buy the book.